So here's why my fashion brand clients are doubling their profit in the first 30 days of working with me. I'm going to explain it to you in 5 simple steps without having to become my client. Okay, so here's a screenshot from Triple Whale, is the attribution software that we're using that I'm going to show in this video as well. But it shows one of my clients in the past 12 months, 3 million in revenue, 1 million in net profit, with a 300% increase in net profit and only a 200% increase in revenue. So we are actually making our clients a lot more profitable, which is super important if you're not supported by venture capital money. Okay, so step number 1, diving right in, is understanding the key KPIs. This training is going to blow your mind. Stick to the end, because if you understand this, you can really, really grow a fashion brand and be profitable and have like a Zen type of running your business style, because you're not scrambling on margins all the time, okay? So the first KPI that you have to understand is conversion rate. Probably already know what it means. It's essentially sessions divided by the total number of orders, or vice versa. But here's why you should care, okay? If you double your conversion rate, essentially you, with all else being equal, you double your revenue. Okay, you can see it in this little image here. Visitors times conversion rate times lifetime customer spend, or maybe average order value, depending on how you look at it, is revenue. If you double conversion rate, you'll double revenue. Also, if you double your lifetime customer spend or average lifetime value of a client, if you double this, you double your revenue. I'm going to focus on this right now, conversion rate. So I hope that this makes sense. You only have to increase your conversion rate from 1% to 2%, or from 0.5% to 1%, and you double your revenue. So if you're doing $1 million a year right now in revenue, you get 2 million a year if you only make that little 0.5% change. That is the magic. But it even goes a step further. So here's where the real magic happens. Everybody can double their revenue with pumping more money into ads, but doubling your revenue through conversion rate optimization means increased revenue without any extra cost. It's almost pure profit. So as you can see in this image right here, which by the way, I stole from a Kindle book, which I'll link in the description. I didn't get much value out of the book. Otherwise, these amazing images right here. So you have revenue, and this is the before situation. So you have your fixed cost and your advertising cost, and then the variable cost. So that will be the cost of producing your garments or your items or your products or your collection, whatever. And then you have this part, which is the profit. If you double your revenue, the ad cost through conversion rate optimization, the ad cost and the fixed cost, they stay the same. The thing that doubles as well is because you're having to sell a lot more, you're selling a lot more products, your variable costs are going to double as well, likely, but with economies of scale, you might even get an improvement here as well. But what also happens is that because the revenue doubled, but the ad costs stay the same, your profit increases 4 times. And that is where the real magic is. So you're not only growing your revenue, you're 4xing, that's like an extra compound on your profit. So that is why it's so powerful to just work on your conversion rate optimization. And if you get more profit from each new website visitors, you will be able to outspend your competition in the advertising market, and hence you can outgrow them. And where your competition or your competitor brand is breaking even at $100 cost per acquisition, you can now spend $200 to get a customer and also get a profit. So imagine that your competitor is breaking even at $100. You can completely outspend them, spend double, and still make a profit just because you have an increased conversion rate. So that is really the magic. And not only can you spend more, you also make back your investment faster, your investment into ads. And that allows you to accelerate faster as well. Where your competitor increases ad spend only every 1 or 2 months, you can increase your ad spend every 2 weeks, okay, as long as you're profitable. So that is the magic, okay? We have more ad profit, which allows for more ad spend, which you put back into advertising, which generates more ad profit, which generates more ad spend. And that is really the magic of conversion rate optimization. It's a very small key metric, but focusing on that can drive massive results. Now, if you wonder if it's actually possible to double your revenue, your conversion rate, here's an example of one of our clients. Very small clients, probably one of the smallest clients we've taken on, but we've created massive results. So from January all the way to the 19th of November, they did around 50K in sales, 0.1% conversion rate. We made a redesign to their website, simple tweaks, nothing wild, nothing crazy, just a simple redesign. And then we grew it to 23%, which was a 118% increase compared to the previous period. So that was probably the month before. Anyways, you can see the difference. And that also massively increases their revenue as well. Now there's more factors in play. But anyways, that is the power of conversion rate optimization. So there's actually a couple of nuances to it. And by increasing the conversion rate, you may be lowering the average order value. Okay, this can happen. Average order value, essentially revenue divided by total orders in time frame, in a certain time frame, or vice versa. I believe it's actually vice versa. If you would increase, my math is super shit right now. I'm just focusing on the creative part here. Anyways, if you would increase the conversion rate but lower the average order value equally, in theory, you end up with not improving anything at all. So that's why it's important not only to look at the conversion rate, but also look at the average order value, because you want to either increase both or increase one and the other stays the same. Otherwise, you're gonna not have a net positive. And that's why it's important to keep both metrics in mind. And in case you were wondering if it's possible to improve your average order value, here's another example of another client where we grew the average order value by a clean 22% at once, just by adding a single feature to the cart and to the product page. Okay, it's actually just an upsell. Complete the look, but making sure that the upsell is dynamic. So it's actually showing the product that matches up with that specific product. Okay, don't upsell just a standard product. Make sure it matches with the product that the customers are looking at. So that's the small feature that we implemented. Increase the conversion rate by 22%. And the conversion rate didn't change much. But really what happens here, by increasing either your conversion rate or your average order value, you're making a higher dollar per user, which brings me to my last KPI, which is revenue per user, which is essentially revenue divided by users in a certain time frame. Please look these things up because I probably explained the math incorrect here. So basically, the dollar you earn from each new user on your website, which essentially is the combination factor of the conversion rate, the conversion rate and the average order value. And it's really the little known metric that allows our clients to double or triple their profit within 30 days of working with us. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, brings me to step 2, which is monitoring the metrics. You want to use your Shopify analytics. Pretty clean, as you know, 2.5 million in the last 12 months. You can get your simple details, your simple information, which products are top selling. Then you have your triple wheel, 800,000 for this client in the last 3 months. Essentially, your attribution tracking, best performing landing pages, what are the best performing products, also gives you more accurate data on your average order value. So for example, average order value in different time frames or for different customer groups, and same counts for CRO. Okay, so you can get some good insights from Triple Wheel as well. And by the way, they have a free version now, so I highly recommend it. And then the number one is Microsoft Clarity. This is where you can get really technical with understanding traffic, clicks, and bounces. For example, if you improve your website speed You will lower the amount of bounces, which means people who click, go to the website, but then leave the website within the first 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, that's a bounce. You don't want to have that. That is probably because your website loads too slow or they didn't get what they expected. So if you lower that, you can increase results. So that is data that you can get from Microsoft Clarity. Actually, I can give you a live demo, okay? So we have your general dashboard, and this is the Microsoft Clarity demo, so I'm not revealing any sensitive customer data here. You can actually look at recordings of people who went to your website. So if you click on one of these recordings, it will show us what somebody is looking at, how somebody is navigating through the website, okay? So as you can see, this is not me, this is somebody who's gone through the Microsoft Clarity website. Now, I'm not saying that you have to study each and every one of them, but you can occasionally, maybe one day in a month, have a look at how customers are moving through your website and see if there's any anomalies, see if there's any things that could be improved. Okay. So we have that, and then we have heat maps. Super interesting. See what people are clicking on that is unclickable, or what people are clicking on most, where you should move more of your attention. You can get ideas from this on how to improve. Now, as I said, this is more of the advanced stuff. You're not going to need this in the beginning. Which brings me to step 3, which is very simple. As opposed to taking advice from 19-year-old dropshippers on YouTube on how to increase conversion rate, maybe it's an idea to take your own advice and see what other brands are doing that you are looking up to, or brands that you know have a whole conversion rate optimization team that are perfecting this and split testing everything every single day. Okay, a couple of examples of websites that are doing this is Farfetch. Okay, they have a super simple website and it's super clean. They follow all the design principles. They have a whole team of people split testing this. So whatever you see here, you can get a couple of ideas from. I'm not saying that you should copy everything that you see on the internet, but maybe you can take inspiration and start testing things out for your website. Some of the things that you can see is that within fashion, what you always should do is focus on the visuals as much as possible. As you can see here, it really focuses on the image, doesn't leave much rooms for text, at least above the folder. Very big button for the add to back. By the way, why are they using add to back, not add to cart? This is a question that you can ask yourself. Why are they doing a very small explanation of the product right underneath the brand name? Okay, why are they doing that? These are things that you can think about, maybe implementing your own website if you feel it makes sense. Estimated delivery, okay? These are all small cues that give more trust, that help user experience, etc. And just by analyzing all these other websites, you can learn a lot of things. Another example that I really like is Spoke. Not necessarily because of their web design, but more so because of their personalization. So this is a very hard problem that they've solved. So for example, they did the fit finder where you can actually fill in these simple questions and they will come up with your fit. So this is super interesting. Okay, I highly recommend checking it out. And then their web design is definitely not bad. Same principles that you will see with top performing brands. Minimal information, clean design, very relaxing to the eye. Color patterns are very clean as well, and a big focus on the image. Here's another one. I actually had a conversation with their founder, and this is a super cool brand that I really like, and I love their website. As you can see, it's just amazing. I would say have a look because they've done a great job on creating a very beautiful desktop website. And same counts for their mobile, by the way. Very beautiful mobile design. Super clean cart as well. Actually, some of the reviews in the cart, payment options in the cart as well. Only one thing that I would say is missing is maybe a product upsell. Okay, so super clean right here. You can take a lot of ideas just from analyzing other brands and seeing if you can implement that. And that actually brings me to step 4, which is optimize. So you might be asking, Thijs, maybe I get all these ideas, but I don't know what to implement. I don't know how to do it. You have basically 2 options. You either work with a growth partner like Ecom Growth, who can help facilitate the whole process, or, by the way, Ecom Growth is my company for those who don't know. That's a little plug for myself. Or you can try it out yourself, which is definitely not a bad idea. I know many entrepreneurs who figured it out themselves and have done an amazing job. So you can try it out yourself with Shopify themes. I highly recommend the broadcast team. Okay, you can have a look at that. The guys who are running that are amazing. I love their support, because what you can do is send a message to the support if you buy the theme and say, hey, I want to implement this thing. Can you help me figure this out? And if you ask nicely, they may even do it for you or explain you in what direction to go. Something else that you can do is ChatGPT. So what does that look like? Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, so for example, we go to ChatGPT and we say, hey ChatGPT, I want you to help me with the Shopify conversion rate. We are using the Palo Alto theme in Shopify, and we're designing in Liquid, which is the code of Shopify. Could you please write me the code that I need in order to create a product image grid instead of a carousel? Okay, how can we get those images aligned? Or whatever questions that you want to ask here. You send it in, and ChatGPT will actually give you the step-by-step. Go to online store, go to themes, click on actions, click on edit code. Go to the product .liquid template. Modify or look for the code that looks like this. Replace it with this. Then also change the CSS with this. Okay, this might sound super complicated right now, but you can actually go on YouTube and type in how to edit code in Shopify Liquid, and there's a bunch of videos here that will explain it to you in very simple to understand words like this one. Okay, but if you don't want that and you feel like there's better things to focus on, then work with a conversion rate optimization agency or a growth partner like Ecom Growth, and we can help you facilitate this whole process for you. Okay, and that brings me to step number 5, which is general principles, which I'm not going to go over because you can read it in the document that you can find in the description. I hope this was valuable, and then I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.